let's go!
Oh, fellas, let's go! Get down the hill! Drag him!
Look for him there! Pray to God, he ain't in position!
Let's go!
Look down there. Straight down!
Right, I need someone else with me there. GP right down, blown off.
3 T1s and 1 T3. Get me his ZAP number, plug group.
What's your name, mate?
Rhod.
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 Yeah, what's that?
Although this wasn't real, it gave me some sense of the horrific realities of war. I'm a stand-up comedian, and obviously we came into this series thinking it would be light-hearted and humorous, but really, most of what we're seeing up here is pretty serious. We're talking about people's lives at stake, and it's not funny. Having said that, I'm blown away by the fact that even in these situations, they still sort of have a smile on their face and a sense of humour about things, and maybe that's essential. Maybe to do stuff like this, maybe you have to have a sense of humour. I don't know.
I've chosen this site largely because it's in a wind sock. To pile the stress on, added to the sleep deprivation, the exhaustion. We've been allocated this pathetic little hole which is about 5 inches deep and offers no protection from the wind whatsoever. In front of us, tantalisingly close, there's a palace of a hole. We've got hole envy, we're moving up to the better hole before someone else has it. Well, this is a proper hole. I'll be bedding down here tonight with my new roommate, Scanners. We've got big plans for this place, me and him. It's going to be like grand designs. A sort of living, dining room, kitchen, open plan thing on this side, and then on this side a couple of bedrooms and maybe a room for the kids that we're going to have, me and Scanners, eventually.
And where we're going to put the toilet?
I thought we'd have one upstairs, one downstairs. What do you reckon?
No, we've got there with Spain, we'll dig it for later.
All right, OK, we'll dig a hole, yeah. If we've got a bit more of a limited budget, is to just put a bit of string and a poncho up at the front here to protect from the wind. We're going to discuss it over dinner and a glass of wine.
We'll head down to these jobs, mate. I'll pop back in a bit, yeah?
Yeah, all right, man. Take care. Don't be late. Scanners has gone out. He's gone to scout out where the enemy are, ready for our attack tomorrow morning. So I'm trying to make this ice cube tray of a bunker into something a little warmer. I'm trying to build up a windbreak against this horrendous wind.
Is that young Rhod, is it?
The Major?
Yeah, the Major.
Rhod. Hello, sir. How you doing? I should probably salute you, but can't be asked. So I'm building a nest. What do you think? I've tried to make a windbreak with our bags.
You are developing these survival skills, aren't you?
Huh? Is it going to work?
No.
Why not?
Because it's got holes in it. Would you be satisfied that that hole would give you sufficient defence from small arms fire?
No.
So what would you do if you were...
Wait for Scanners and get him to dig a bit more.
But have you had any moments where you've just turned around and gone, you know, fuck this for a game of soldiers?
Almost.
But looked around and seen that everybody else is just getting on with it?
Yeah, within 5 minutes I want to give up, don't get me wrong. But something pushes me on.
I'd Lawrence Llewellyn Bowen our hole, but a whole wife's work is never done.
I think we've got some in there. Right. Shit, the bed. I'm not sure that was supposed to happen. This is my supper.
Corned beef hash, also known as HLW 8031.
It'll probably taste more like HLW 8031 than it will like corned beef hash. This tastes exactly like tuna rigatoni last night.
With the wind chill, it's now around -5 or 10, and my hole is useless. But I settle down nonetheless for a hard-earned snooze. 15 minutes later, it's time to get up.
To say I've had enough is an understatement. It's not about what I want to do, really. It's about what I've got to do. This would be 90% worse if it was raining constantly now.
We don't generally mention the R word. It's against the law.
Really?
Yeah, because some say it's a curse to make it actually...
Well, sorry about that.
That's all right.
I just wandered in and mentioned the R word.
Yeah.
Well, can you imagine, though, if it was?
Yeah.
Even D.
You'll see now when you...
Even the old D-R-I-double-Z-L-E.
We were ready for attack, but I'd messed up big time. Forget the R word, this was S-N-O-W.
Vincent! Get in it! It's not in fucking water!
Very close combat situation. They're in sniffing distance.
Left hand side there. boys. Let's go, mate, let's go. Yeah, you.
Talking to me?
Yeah, you, let's go. Right, mate, I've got a gunshot wound to the upper right chest. I need your help to get his bandage round me, yeah?
Right.
Just fit the chest, so what you need to do, you put it over the shoulder, put it under this arm, yeah? Upper right hand chest, what it is. There's catastrophic bleed to the right thigh.
I suddenly have more responsibility than I can handle. Last night's roommate Scanners has assimilated severe casualty, and I have to treat him. By now, I'm seriously losing it. The sleep deprivation means I can't think or speak clearly.
One down with a fake injury that I've treated with a kind of bandage. Basically, I think the attack seems to go on.
Section over here. Get down! Get down!
This exercise is unbelievably real, and I realize something that properly blows my mind. To my right, a simulated casualty with a fake gunshot wound. To my left, someone has fallen and actually injured themselves. To my amazement, the man with the fake injury isn't allowed to help carry the real injured man's stretcher, so I'm called in to help. This is how it would be in war, and this is what they're training for out here. Under covering fire, we withdraw with our casualties, fake and real. It's one final exhausting march across very difficult terrain.
I think that you did tremendously well.
I definitely couldn't do the job for real. It's too hard for me.
Yeah, it's not for everybody, but
No.
yeah, we're very fortunate in working with some very special people.
It's been a privilege to be up there with them.
No, thank you very much.
Cheers. Thanks very much. I'm quite sad to be leaving.
I'm sure once I get in the bath, I'll forget all about it.
I've got a huge amount of respect for those guys. I had no idea it was going to be this tough. It's been a real test. My job in showbiz, entertainment industry, is it's pretty egotistical. It's pretty selfish. You only have to think about yourself. You look after number one. That's it. It's just me. It's all I do. And seeing it from their point of view, putting your ego to one side, it has been a big lesson for me in terms of teamwork and support, generosity. I learned a little bit about the value of friendship up there as well. This all sounds incredibly twee and trite, and it probably is. But that's what happens when you deprive somebody of sleep for 48 hours. No idea how to prepare for being a butler. I'd seen the Ferrero Rocher ad, and I knew a bloke with a conservatory. But the closest I'd come to a lord was a Lloyd. My flatmate, comedian Lloyd Langford. So for the next few hours, Gilbert the butler butlered the butt off Lord Lloyd of Port Talbot. Washing Lloyd's old boy was the closest I've come to the old boy's network. I've sat first class on a train a few times, but a free coffee and a seat that reclines 3/4 of an inch doesn't make you Princess Margaret. I needed some serious butler training. Hello, it's Rhod for butler school. Not even a thank you, come in, nothing. Just the door slides away ominously.
Go through into the lounge, sir.
Thank you, Holland.
Take a seat, Mr. Gilbert.
This is very like my lounge.
It is?
No.
Oh. Please,
Thank you.
make yourself comfortable.
This is comfortable. What happens now, Holland? I feel awkward with you standing there and me sitting here. Yeah.
Sorry, I
Would you
didn't
not
think
do you not normally sit down, or?
No, sir, I would not normally sit down.
What's going to be the biggest challenge? It feels like, for me, the biggest challenge is going to be just sort of taking it seriously, and I don't mean that in a derogatory way, I just mean it's such an odd world. I'm going to have to keep my tongue firmly between my teeth for the next few days, I think.
You're also going to have to be able to think about multiple things at the same time and do multiple things at the same time. Not everybody can do it. One of the key things in our profession, so, is small detail. One of the things that a lot of people in our society don't care about anymore. If you were to look at this bed in this general sort of area, what would you say, if anything, is wrong with it?
Is it upside down?
No.
I don't know, there's absolutely nothing wrong with it.
Nothing wrong with it at all. These cushions are not straight, and that cushion
It's not straight.
The zipper is showing, and the zipper should not be showing.
Oh, that's terrible.
Yeah. The telephone is pointing.
Let me see if I can guess what's wrong with it.
Go on then.
Absolutely nothing.
You don't think so?
No.
Okay. Do you not think it'd be more appropriate, sir, if the phone was actually adjusted so that it was facing the bed?
Yeah, you're
so
right.
that whoever was there could actually see the number that's come up
Now
here.
you mention it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Body language is very important.
Right.
I tend to keep my hands in front of me there.
Mm-hmm.
Because there's less chance of me touching myself somewhere else. Because, for instance, right now, I have an itch on my top lip.
Do you?
And I want to scratch it.
Allow me, Holland.
Thank you. That's very considerate.
All
of you,
part
sir.
of the
Thank you.
service. See, I'm getting used to it. If there's a lady sat there and you start touching yourself, it's going to be embarrassing for everyone.
It is.
I had to learn more boring, pointless information than someone doing a PhD on armrests. But if I only remembered one thing, it was not to grope myself violently while serving dinner. Come in from the left. Be aware of this one. Keep it out of the way. Keep it away. Drop this one down silently. Stealth waiter in. Egg and chips with a Parmesan jus.
Thank you. If you're unsure as to whether the person's finished... Now, if I came in and I go like this, what are you going to do?
I'd probably leave it like that for a minute. After about a minute, when it gets awkward, I'd go, what? Shall I show you my sock drawer? My sock drawer would be
probably
literally like that. This is one serious iron you've got here. Whenever I do a corporate gig or something, if I haven't ironed my shirt, I just keep a jacket on.
No, so you're doing it wrong.
I'm pushing in there. Look, so you got your... Ironing is boring. Admit it. Admit it, Holland.
I live to iron, sir.
What happens if, like, a woman gives me a dress to iron or a bra?
We don't iron bras normally anyway.
You're not?
No.
I thought you iron everything. This is so cool. I'm definitely... Oh. Hang on a minute. I've lost the bottom of the iron's fallen off. Ah!
Was that hot?
Ah! I thought that would have cooled down. Now we haven't used it for ages.
When picking up the Teflon...
I was really enjoying that.
The Teflon plate from the iron, make sure that you haven't been using it recently, otherwise it may be hot.
I've never seen a Teflon plate on the bottom of an iron before. I just
Health
thought...
and safety regulations.
Just waiting for Anthony to bring me some ice. Anthony?
Here you go, Mr. Rhod. You have a nice bath.
Oh, fantastic. Thank you. 4 hours relentless buffing later, I had to touch myself to check I was still alive. Holland had polished this turd as best he could. Time to stick it in a suit and see if it would float.
What's the suit for exactly?
It's, I want you to make me look like him.
Okay.
Ready, Anthony? Close your eyes.
Yeah, I will do. I was born ready.
I want to surprise you on our wedding day.
Yeah, it's a transformation.
I might keep going on that. Every time you come at me, I just assume I'm in customs.
You look quite splendid, actually.
Really?
I think once we have...
Can I do a twirl, Holland?
If you feel strongly about that, sir, yes, you may. That's very good. It's now time for me to tell you where you're going to be working, and you're going to be working at Fonman Castle with Sir Brooke Boothby and his family. You are going to do everything that we've run through today, sir, but you're just going to be doing it for real. Serving breakfast, getting up the family, serving lunch, and a formal dinner for 15 in the evening.
A formal dinner for 15?
Yes, a formal dinner for 15. You need your...
Turd in a butler suit, Batman. The closest I've come to a dinner party is offering a plumber a biscuit.
I'm giving this dinner party tomorrow, therefore I'm looking for some assistance in the form of a butler to manage the evening.
That absolutely terrifies me. If I needed any more reason to be nervous, the next day's dinner party was in honour of the Earl of Bradford, Sir Brooke's friend who had recently married. Apart from not touching myself in front of Lady Bradford, I wasn't sure of my role.
It's the basic job of a butler. It's to make people feel good. If you can achieve that, or help us achieve it, then that will be a successful dinner.
If all else failed, I knew exactly how to make the guests feel good. I'd show them Sir Brooke's spoon. There was loads to do before tomorrow's dinner party, so Sir Brooke gave me my first task, confessing he had an embarrassing problem.
I've got some gaps in my cellar, so I'm hoping that you can go off and come back with some possible recommendations. And on top of that, you're going to take with you a bottle of our port so that you can practice taking the port out into the decanters. But it is fairly precise, and you will be handling a very fine and very rare wine. So I want you to do a little practice.
Great. Tomorrow I'd be in charge of the posh booze as well. I knew less about very fine, very rare wine than Ian Beale, but I'd heard that far beneath Cardiff Castle lived a magic wine hobbit